All right, everybody, welcome. This is my first podcast episode, so it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be ugly, but bear with it. Everybody starts somewhere. I'm really excited to have my friend Edward Darrell Thomas II
Yes, sir.
as my very first guest. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. It's an honor for me to be here. First of all, congratulations on your podcast, man.
Thank you.
I know it's gonna do great, and God is gonna do some great things with it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, Edward, tell us a little bit about what you do. What are some titles you hold?
I'm assistant pastor, Living Word International Christian Center. Started off at my father's church. Started off as a drummer, and everyone would tell me when I was young, like you're gonna preach, and you're gonna be an assistant pastor. And I used to mimic my dad when I was young preaching. But as I got older, and I was playing the drums, my focus kind of went towards that. And when I was young, I was just mimicking my dad. But I guess a lot of people seen something in me. When I got to the age of 24, 25, my dad pulled me aside and was like, "I want you to be the youth leader at the church." And I was like, "Whoa." I'm used to just playing the drums and just doing, background stuff. But I took the challenge and, prayed and really felt that was my calling. And from there, man, I've been moved to assistant pastor. I've been youth pastor for about 7 years. Two years ago, I got moved to assistant pastor. And through that, I became doing a lot of stuff in the community, leading in the community and stuff like that. So
I see that. Yeah.
Yes,
That's actually how we became friends.
Yes,
I saw someone shared your post on Instagram, and then I saw your most recent posts, and I'm like, man, this guy's really out there. He's out there helping the community. That's basically what I see. Almost every single post that you do is something involving helping the community.
Yes,
so we're here in Fresno, and is this where you were born and raised in Fresno?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Fresno. I always say, if I could be raised anywhere in the world, it would be here.
Nice.
My family came from here. My dad his family originates from Chicago, and he did a lot of growing up in the Bay Area. But here in Fresno, Fresno's been where it's at for me.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit, from the beginning. So what schools did you go to growing up?
Oh, I started off at Ernie Pyle when I was in kindergarten. Moved to Thomas Elementary.
Okay.
In second grade. 5th grade, I moved to Fig Garden. From there, I went to a private school.
Okay.
It was called World Harvest Christian Academy. And then from there, I went to Lawless and Bullard High School, and then went on home studies, which is a crazy story. My first semester into my freshman year, I went on home studies and finished on home studies. Graduated a year early, and that's how I completed. But I've been to a lot of schools. So a lot of people knew me growing up because I was there. So I kind of had a feel for everyone. So it was a really dope thing getting to know everyone.
Yeah, I remember when we were getting to know each other, we said that we have a lot of things in common.
Yes, sir.
And that was one of them.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Lemoore, small town.
Uh-huh.
I went to pretty much every school that Lemoore had to offer.
Yes,
I went
sir.
to a lot of different schools, but it helped me out because I was always making new friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got to high school, we only have one high school, and I'm like, hey, like
you knew everyone.
I knew everyone,
Yeah.
so definitely that helped out.
Yes, sir.
So at what age would you say, obviously you got good swag?
Yes, sir.
When did that start?
The swag?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Always just born with it?
Born with it. My grandfather, who has a great legacy in Fresno, California, who came before me, he was one of the first to do a lot down. He's the first radio black African American disc jockey on the radios. Back in the day, he met with presidents and stuff like that. He did a lot of big things, but he was a swagged out guy, real dressing. My dad, anyone who knows my father, back in high school, he would wear suits and stuff like that, and he's always dressed, so it just trickled down to me.
Yeah.
I guess it's in the blood. It's
he taught you, you always got good swag.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, man, brother, we're going through crazy times.
Crazy, man.
Crazy times. Some of the craziest times that our history books, have to show on paper.
Yes, sir.
I see you're out there. You're out there trying to, spread positivity.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm about.
Yes,
that's what I'm about. What's some advice you would give out to people right now? What are some things that you're doing, and why are you doing it?
One of the things that I've been able to do, obviously we know with the George Floyd situation. Just horrible tragedy. The one of the first things with me, with the COVID going on, I've had a pre-existing, having asthma and bronchitis since I was young, so I'm not able to go out in big crowds and stuff like that and go to the protests. What with me, I always want to, how could I do, anything with me meeting with one person? That stuff is fine, but me going out in big crowds, I can't take that risk right now. But 2 days after George Floyd was killed, I was right at City Hall meeting with council
I
members,
saw that.
seeing what I could do. Right after that, I brought people together because I know everyone. Some people might be in my situation where they can't go out to protest and stuff like that. So I asked myself, how could I bring people together on social media to be able to peacefully demonstrate? Because we were seeing a lot of hate behind it, and I understand the emotions of everyone. It's been a trying situation for Black people to go through what they've been through, and when you go through that, the emotions get a little crazy. But love is going to be the thing that overcomes all that. So love and prayer, and starting with prayer and then acting from there.
Yeah.
So I was able to gather a lot of my friends, a lot of influential people together to do a video, and I called it a social media peace demonstration. And we were able to do that, and it was able to bring a lot of positivity, healing, and all that to the community.
Yeah.
Yourself was on there too, man. You did a great job.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the invite.
Yeah, spread a great message to the people, because like I said, that's what it's going to be. I always say that we have to fight. We're always going to fight, but it's what weapon are you choosing?
Yeah.
Fighting, and you can't fight an opposition resembling them.
Yep.
You have to fight them with a different weapon, and you have to fight with that weapon of love. And
Yep.
I think that's what's going to overcome things.
I couldn't agree anymore.
Yes,
couldn't
sir.
agree anymore.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of division going on right now.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like people are being really aggressive, especially online.
Oh,
People
man.
are being really aggressive, and that in no way, shape, or form is going to help bring the other person's point of view closer to a middle ground. I see a lot of insults going on right now, a lot of division. I'm only 25 years old. I know you're in your 20s too, right?
I'm 31.
31. Okay.
I look like I'm still...
Hey man, you look young, man. But I mean, I have never seen this much division. I've read about it.
Yeah.
We've read about this division, but
Yes,
seeing it firsthand, it's crazy. It's a whole other thing. So I see a lot of people getting mad. I see a lot of people that used to be friends. A lot of friends turning each other apart. You should be more mad. You're not mad enough, or why are you so mad? A lot of people just not being able to find a common ground. So it makes me really happy that you're out there bringing unity.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do online as well. You won't see me insulting other people because we disagree.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Only things that bring unity. So
and that's what's going to overcome it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the unity, man. The unity, everyone coming together. Because everybody has different. We're all individuals.
Yep.
You have your ideas. I have mine. I know everyone, agrees about the situation. With what happened was a hateful situation, but you have some people that, they are the way they are.
Yeah.
And you have to pray for them, get that situation to God, because at the end of the day, us shining our light is going to be huge and can turn hearts. But God, with us doing our part, then it's up to God to change your heart from there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's actually the reason why I told you. That is the reason why I said I'm tired of waiting on starting my podcast. I said we need more podcasts like this. We need more, not essentially podcasts, but we need more of this.
Yeah.
One-on-one talking.
Yeah,
So let's just say, all right, Edward, you're president.
Yes,
What are some things you do? What are some things you would do differently? What are some things you think need to change?
One of the things a lot of people always ask me, like, are you into politics? Like that? And I'm not really into politics all that much. But I know being a leader and being a leader of people, I would try to unify as much as possible. And people, I was very vocal when our president was elected. Just because not in a hateful or anything like that, but just, really I want to see him unite the people.
Yeah.
Politics, whatever bills and stuff, that's going to take care of itself. But how you treating people, because America is made up of not just white people or black people or we're all together. So
Yeah.
you have to have a heart for everyone, regardless of what your politics is. So right now, with what's going on with the COVID, what's going on right now, it's a time to unify everyone. So that's the main thing I want to see changes. Bring everyone together. You know what I'm saying? We see people apart. We shouldn't see more division. And as a leader, as a head, how you lead is going to trickle down to other people.
Yeah.
And so I would love to see that because I think a lot of our president's followers would, obviously they follow him and take his lead.
Yeah.
If I was in that position, I would bring everyone together. We're all people. We're all individuals, and it starts with that. And we need that love. We need that togetherness. We need that unity to break the spirit of hate and disunity that we see right now.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. A reform that a lot of people are talking about right now is the police reform.
I've seen that.
What's your take on that? On the police reform?
I've seen. I don't know too much about it, but I do know our situation in Fresno, and I know that a lot of the money is compared to the other departments, education and stuff like that. They get a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So as much as we can put in different areas and stuff like that. My main thing is the chokeholds and stuff like that. Figuring out how we can get those things better. But I've seen people saying to take police officers, and that might be a dispopular opinion from people. I don't believe that we should take police officers out. I think I've seen how easy it is for police officers to become police officers compared to other countries, and I feel like it needs to be a more training behind becoming a police officer. And then once you are a police officer, holding people accountable, if you do something like that, if you see clear hate crimes, you classify them as such.
Yeah.
You lose your lose your police license and you're prosecuted just like anyone else. So more so on with that, making sure we clean that up because and it, one of the things I did when after the George Floyd situation, I met with a police officer and we did a sit-down interview, just like you said, like this.
Yep.
Those are things that don't really change things. So me and him sat down, and after we had our conversation, one of the things I said, me and him really agreed on, is it's going to really start with police officers helping police officers and then making a change themselves. You always say if you want to make the change, you have to look at yourself and make that change. So police officers starting with themselves, if they see another police officer is being racist or doing something that doesn't need to be done. Because if you look at the George Floyd situation, it wasn't one. It was, I believe it was 4. Mm-hmm. And one of them could have stood up.
Yep.
One of them, and that's all it takes. Somebody standing up if you see, because people know what's going too far. And, it just takes standing up for people, having the heart, to say that his life matters, man. Hey, get off of them. That's all it takes. But when you see stuff like that, checking them so as to start accountability. Exactly. So I definitely want to see more accountability with that.
I wasn't 100% sure, if we were gonna agree on this situation because I have a lot of friends in law enforcement, family in law enforcement.
Yeah, same.
I'm seeing a lot of this hate towards law enforcement, and I'm not for it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this blanket hate overall law enforcement. I'm not for that. We do need a reform though. Yeah. I have a military background. I can relate a lot to. There was a lot of angry, really, really angry, good police officers who, when they saw the video of George Floyd and his partners, they were disgusted by that. They were disgusted by it,
exactly
and they're upset that that's how they're being represented. Mm-hmm. I know, our military. Not as much today as, let's just say, during the Vietnam War era.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of people still think that we're out there being the bad guys, killing innocent people.
Yeah.
And the reason that rhetoric even exists is because there's been those people. Mm-hmm. And we despise those people.
Exactly.
Because it only takes one person. It takes one person to ruin, an entire career's reputation.
Exactly.
So definitely, especially because a lot of my friends that are in law enforcement, I would say the grand majority, probably in the 90%, are Black and Hispanics. Mm-hmm. So they've been getting hate, and and they're good cops. they're good police officers. They're not racist, so they've been a part of this blanket hate. I do agree though, the reform, more training.
Yeah,
More training. They definitely our media has made it clear that unfortunately the standards aren't high enough to become a police officer. They should be higher. I do believe that they should be higher. Better psychology evaluation. Getting them checked more often. More training. I just found out today from a podcast that I like listening to that police officers get, I think, on average, like 3 hours of combat training a whole year.
Oh my God.
3 hours a year.
Wow.
I don't know. That's what I heard from a police officer said on a podcast. And if that's true, we need to increase that. We need to find better ways to calm down situations.
And I think a good thing is really improving the relationship between our African Americans, our Hispanics, and our police officers, and any men in general. Just in our men in our valley, in general, and our police officers. I'm working with my team and a group of people. As soon as COVID is over, how can we? I've already been talking to some of the police department. How can we bring us together? And because it's a distrust there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a distrust there where people don't. And like I said, it's not all police officers. One of the things is hurt me the most, other than of course my seeing George Floyd is, I've seen officers killed, and some people, oh, what you so it's we can't, that's not the way.
Yeah.
It has to be another way. Everyone is not like that. We need police to step up. We need them to correct things. We need them to hold each other accountable. But we have to do it in love, man. It's not going ending one life for another life. It ain't the way.
Definitely.
And now you've had more families suffer that's lost their father or brother or uncle, and we have to figure out a better way to do it. And guys like yourself, myself, other leaders, they can find ways to bring unity and peace to the situation. I think that's where we'll really see a change.
I think so too.
Yes, sir.
I feel like a lot of people are fearing a COVID wave coming back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that a wave of leaders are born from this. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the next generation. I'm hoping that the young generation is seeing everything that's going on right now, and that they're being put in a position where they're seeing, you know what, we need to do better. We need to do better. We can't keep continuing this cycle of racism.
Yeah.
Racism is the fact that it's still alive. Is something that is ridiculous. I'm happy that I think social media has brought people closer together.
Yes, sir.
This is at least a theory that I have. I feel that a lot of racism comes from people. I feel that racism comes from ignorance.
Oh yeah.
Ignorance used to come from locations where people who would only see individuals who look like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The internet has made that it's starting to disappear.
Yeah.
People are starting to they're young white Americans are starting to have black or Hispanic or people of color as an influence, as a positive role model.
Yeah,
and I think that's something that didn't exist just a few decades ago because without the internet. So hopefully that's something that brings us together. Again, I just want to say it one more time. Hate, racism comes from ignorance. So we need to start educating. How do you get rid of ignorance? You start educating. You start educating young kids, that everyone is an individual.
And if you look at that word, ignorance, it starts with the word to ignore. Mm-hmm. And, some people have ignored, just won't even pay attention to the other side. And like you said, with social media, you're just scrolling on social media. You just see people and it's bringing a window into different people's lives, or you see different videos and stuff like that. So it's making people pay closer attention. So, and really now, I put a post up on social media. It's one of the amazing things have been seeing the other races and white people, Mexican people, people of different ethnics,
tongue
tongue twisted, but seeing everyone come together with us, man. And before, we didn't have that as much, and we couldn't depend on people that much. But knowing that it's our fight, we're all humans under this skin, man. We all believe the same. God made us in His image.
Yep.
He didn't say I made a white man in my image. I made a black. Everyone's made in the image of God, and He made us all different. And that's what makes us, who we are, individuals. And everyone understanding that you, my brother, and we're brothers and sisters, that it's our fight, and we're gonna defeat this hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something that's really been cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. I heard a quote. It was either today or yesterday from another podcast I listened to. A good goal would be for one day having a society where the idea of hating another individual for the color of their skin would be equally as ridiculous as today hating someone for the color of their hair.
Wow.
Think of today. Imagine
pretty much.
Yeah, imagine being, you and I were at a coffee shop and I started sharing with you, or you started sharing with me the hate that we have for people with purple hair. It's ridiculous. It's comical. It's something that's just, it's ridiculous.
For a different hair texture or something like that,
Exactly. So that's the goal. I think would be to slowly transition into that, and it's going to take a while. Like I said, it's going to take a while to get rid of the ignorance that's out there. But that would be a good society to have, where we all look at each other as just, another human being, just another person, judging people by the character.
Yes, sir.
So I think that would be a good goal to have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like you said, it's gonna take a while, but understand, if you look at the movement, civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s, led by Dr. King and other great leaders, it wasn't a one-day thing, but they were able to make so much progress.
Yep.
I can sit here with you, back in that, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yep.
We can go sit, me and you being minorities, we can go sit in a restaurant and eat like everyone else.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we would have to go in the basement, under the building and go eat.
Yeah.
Or go upstairs where, we get the slop. But, or we get on the bus, we have to sit in the back of the bus. So we've made progress, but understanding then, it took a great patience.
Yeah.
So understanding that we have to be patient. I know everyone doesn't like to hear that all the time because we still see what we see. But understand that if we be patient and if we keep fighting,
yep.
If you endure to the end, you'll see what we need to see and want to see. But it takes patience, and I know we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We've overcame, and we've strive. Today being Juneteenth. I was really looking at the slaves and how they had to endure. I look at that every Juneteenth, how they had to go through. They never gave up. They never quit. They fought for what they believed in to see us free today.
Yep. And
with us, looking at them, the fight might be hard. It might be a tedious situation. We might, no matter how many races we see, no matter how many people, there's ignorance, that have ignorance out there, we have to keep fighting. We have to keep going. And if we do, we have that patience. We have that fight to keep on going. We'll eventually overcome like we always have. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I think the last thing I have to say about this topic is just if you're someone out there online who is who thinks, if you think you're going to end racism by spewing hatred, I'm telling you, you're only pushing people farther away. Yeah. That's something that I wish I could post on a daily basis, but I'm sure people would get tired of it. You're not going to win people's minds by spewing hate. Mm-hmm. There's some people think that spewing hate is going to bring them closer to understanding. It's not. I see people every day they're saying that they're fighting against racism, but they're saying that they hate cops or they hate white people, and I look at that and I'm like,
it's almost the same thing it's the same thing that you're claiming that they are, and you're acting the same way.
I see that, and I think I was just gonna say I see that, and I'm like, you're not helping. You're not helping. I want to comment, stop. You're not helping, but I don't like to get in those messes online. But I'm sorry. What were we saying?
No, it's like I said, man. You're acting just like they are.
Yep.
And like I said earlier, you can't fight hate with hate.
Yep.
You can't. Like I said the other week when I was teaching, if you're in a dark room and you just go add more darkness to it, it's gonna stay dark.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The difference with this room and it being dark is you got that light.
Yep.
It's all light. So what the difference is going to be with this racism and everything we see right now is different lights coming on.
Yep.
From you, from different people, and that light is love.
It's a good
and
example.
If we lead with that, man, it's going to brighten up this world. And the darkness that we see right now is going to be changed. And I really see that, even though we see people like that, like I said, man, the people that I see that have hearts of empathy, that really understand the African American plight and what we're going through right now, that are shining their lights, man. I've seen videos of people who have lost friends and family because, you know, they're fighting with us.
Yeah.
They're fighting for what's right. You know what I mean? And we appreciate allies, and I don't even call them allies to that point. I call them family. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters. We're all in this together, and I really appreciate those people so much. People like yourself, that's out there that you know what I'm saying. Wrong is wrong, right is right.
Yep.
But I'm gonna fight with love. I'm gonna turn my light on so we can turn this dark situation around.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we talked about your past. We talked about the present and the world.
Yes, sir.
Let's end it off by talking about your future. What are your plans? Where do you see yourself? You're heading in such a upward trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going? Where's this heading to?
Wherever God want to take me.
Yeah.
You know, I say it all the time. When I was 3 years ago, I was doing a lot of, you know, youth events. I was doing some stuff in the community. I got sick with a condition with my throat. I wasn't able to eat, and I went through a few surgeries and stuff like that. We still didn't know. Still to this day, don't really have a clear cut of what it was. But you know, I was a situation where I was questioning would I even be here. You know, I didn't have my daughter to that point. You know, am I going to be able to see my son go to kindergarten, or am I going to be able to have a daughter one day? It was real thoughts that was in my head, and that was just the enemy fighting me.
Yeah.
But when I really pushed through, and a lot of people tell me, you know, they see me in an upward trajectory and I'm doing great things. A lot of people don't know, you know, because I don't share too much of it. In the middle of when I was sick is when I just said my purpose. It's really been a greater intensity for me to do whatever God wants me to do. Just like you said in the beginning, like I just said, I'm gonna start this podcast.
Yep.
You know, any idea and vision that God gave me, and I'll tell anybody this that has a vision or a destiny, don't wait. You know, Go out and go, just do it. I remember when I started the Kick It outreach, man, the idea came, and I knew it was God, but you know, when you start getting fought with those thoughts of doubt, who's gonna watch my podcast?
Yeah.
Or who's gonna kick it out? What does that sound? You know?
Yeah.
And that's just the enemy. But those words of doubt are to sway you away from your purpose. And me understanding, I just said, God just told me to go. And I could have made every excuse in the book, man. I'm going through this. But I just kept pushing and I pushed through. So, man, I see myself going wherever God wants me to go. I have goals and visions where I want to see myself. I just want to keep on going, keep on serving. Wherever God takes me, man, I'm gonna be fine with that. But as long as I'm making an impact, that's what I want to do. The same thing with we did a big event this year, bringing the city of Fresno together called Countdown to King, and I had went to City Hall to meet with a council member that had seen something I did last year, and you know wanted to know, you know, are you gonna do something for King Day? And you know, we had a meeting, and Dad and I told them my idea. They gave me, we can give you this connect, we can do this, and let's go ahead and do it. I left that meeting feeling real confident about it, and I got home. I was driving. My parents was watching my daughter. My son was at school. My wife was at work, and I'm almost to my parents' house, and God just started talking to me, and I heard Countdown to King. I'm like, wait a minute, and I stopped my car, pulled over to the side, and literally God spoke to me for about 5 minutes straight about an event counting down at midnight. I was like, who's I've never heard nothing like this before other than, you know, New Year's. And I'm like, I just met with the council member at City Hall. I already got, you know, my connections for that, and God said, scrap it. You know, I want you to go with this. And I took a step out on faith, and I could have easily doubted it. And, you know, I have all the connections for the other thing. And, what we were able to do with Countdown to King, you know, other than what the city puts together for Dr. King, it was brought back to me that our event was the biggest one that was a solo event that Fresno has ever had, and we were able to make great impact with that. So we've been able to do some great things. So I just hope the impact just keeps coming. As long as I'm impacting people, bringing people together, man, I feel like I'm doing God's will. Just like Dr. King said, and I use that same motto. I just want to do God's will, and as long as I'm doing God's will wherever I go, I know it's going to be great, and it's going to make a great impact.
Yeah, definitely. Well, wherever you're heading towards, I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
I'm really excited because we need more people like you out there
Yes, sir.
in leadership. So,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Obviously we're friends. We're going to stay in touch. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm excited to see where you're going to end up.
Yes, sir.
So, well, we're going to wrap it up. Anything you want to say before we end it?
No, I appreciate you, man. Just with yourself as well, man. I see God doing some great things with you. And like you said, same thing with me. I see that trajectory going through the roof with this podcast and the vision that you have and being positive, helping people. And I think behind anything, it's the heart that you have that's really going to shine through and really going to make great impact. Behind whatever you're doing, if it's your business or, anything that you do, man, it's going to prosper. I see that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
So
Yes, sir.
People who want to follow you, where do they find you?
Instagram, Edward Darrell Thomas. Facebook, same thing. Follow me, put in a request, and see some great content and great things that we're doing out in the city.
Awesome. And for our local viewers, any upcoming events that you want to promote?
Yeah, we actually have our Kick It Outreach that we're doing. We've done it 3 years in a row where we give shoes to kids. And this year, it's a little different. And we were kind of like iffy, like, should we do it? As people, so I went to our storage and I actually forgot about this. And I was at our church and I went to our storage and after we did Kick It Outreach last year, people just kept bringing shoes. And I'm like, it's over. Like, like, oh, we just want y'all to, have shoes for next year. Just get y'all a head start. And we have so many shoes already, like, for this year, like, we're set. We're literally ready to go.
Nice.
And with things going on with COVID, people losing jobs, businesses closing, I really feel like this year puts a greater intensity on helping these families because they don't have the finances like they did in years past. And every year we really want to help those families, but this year we want to help them even more with everything that's going on, give them a helping hand and get these kids some shoes for this upcoming school year. So it's going to be on August 1st. You'll be seeing the information coming around, like on our social media and around the media and stuff like that. So it's going to be a real positive event and helping a lot of families.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, because of COVID, it's going to be even more impactful
Yes, sir.
than what it already is,
Yes, sir.
for what it is.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited. Well, hey, brother, I want to say thank you so much.
Yes, sir,
thank
man.
you for being my first episode on my podcast.
It's an honor,
I really
man.
appreciate it.
It's an honor, man. One down, man, and it only goes up from here, brother.
All right, man. I hope so.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir. Yes,
it.
sir. Yes,
All right. Thank you, everybody who watched.